Hello to my hello to my Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Capricorns, you are ruled 10th house. The moon has moved from your sign, so maybe you would feel like you were carrying a lot on your back. Maybe you were having your back was bothering you, or maybe some emotional eating. But when the moon is in your zodiac sign, Capricorns, it can affect your back, your joints, your knees, your skin, your hair. So be very careful with that, especially if they like are inflamed and your doctor may have told you, okay, don't eat certain foods or whatever because it's going to add to that inflammation. Then that connects you with your emotional eating, all of that. So it's going to be very mindful of that. 10th house speaks to career, life goals, achievements, public image, father or the masculine energy, social status, and also fame. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. When the moon moves through, so since it moved out of Capricorn, by the time you see this, it would have moved into Aquarius. So it affects your calves, your ankles, your shin, your Achilles. Aquarius is an air sign, so some things you can give air to so that you can start the releasing process as you're closing out a cycle. When you start looking at the fruits of your labor, because we had a full moon, for strawberry moon, right? So you planted some seeds and now you want to see these big, beautiful fruits of your labor, right? As part of it is the clearing process, the cleaning out process. Before that, we had a full moon in Scorpio, right? Before that, month before that, we had the full moon in Scorpio. And so source is saying to you, you've already pulled up some things, things that weren't growing in your life, and you've already planted some new seeds. And this is really the fruits of your labor. So as you're closing out a cycle, you're listening to your physical body, but you're also listening to spirit inside of you, Capricorns. And so it could affect your calves, your ankles, your shin, your Achilles. So if you're standing around, all of a sudden your calf muscles start hurting, your Achilles, whatever. Before you call your doctor, you're called a practicing physician. You're going to call the healer source through prayer, right? Okay, what is this, right? Even if it's something as simple as like, okay, why all of a sudden my, calves and my ankle or my shins or my Achilles are bothering me, right? Then you may want to schedule an appointment. But let's get into it. Everything I learn will be used for my life's purpose. Everything I use will be used for my life's purpose. And then after that, so on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or excuse me, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, the moon will be in Aquarius. So it can affect your, those parts of your body, your calves, your shin, your Achilles. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, leading into the last quarter moon, it'll be in Pisces. So it could affect your feet, your toes, your pineal gland, and all that, to a point where almost like somebody could feel so overwhelmed, you forget to even drink your water. You're dehydrated. And so it's just like trying to wash off that third eye, like that pineal gland, the eye of God. You want to see something that you didn't see before, but you can be so overwhelmed because you feel like, okay, my back was hurting, my calf was hurting, and that was all an indicator. So it's like, well, what do you do when your toes are cramped up? You driving somewhere, your toes are cramped up, like, oh God, that's scary, right? Or you're walking somewhere, you start moving around, right? So it says something needs to move around, like something needs to move around. You need to put one foot in front of the other. You need to take some kind of action on something, right? And the first action you're taking is through prayer. And the second action you could be taking is through journaling. Like you get all of this, all something out of your system through prayer. But everything you learn will be used for your life's purpose. Everything you learn will be used for your life's purpose. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Like I said, this is for 10th house. 10th house. You want to get familiar with all the houses in your birth chart, okay? Get familiar with all the houses in your birth chart. So for instance, when you're watching my readings, when you want to hear about, people's first impression of you or personality or temperament or their, vice versa, your impression of them, listen to first house or Aries. Aries rules first house. Find out what your sign is in your first house. Second house would be Taurus. Third house would be Gemini. Fourth would be Cancer, so on and so forth. Because each one of those houses are just a part of who you are. You want to learn your birth chart. You want to learn your birth chart. So 255. Changes are indicators. Changes are coming and will bring new decisions for you to make. Your angels encourage you to greet these changes as assurance that your intentions are coming to be. So reflect on a negative emotion or worry that you've been ruminating on lately. Take time to visualize it withering into the universe and let it go for real. Like if it's something that's negative that you feel like you have been dealing with, two types of energies that's kind of stuck on something that has been disrupting your peace, you're going to start visualizing things as saying, okay, I need to release these energies. Instead of just sitting there with the two ears on the side of your head, being stubborn, dealing with stubborn energy. So it's the same, because that's just how they're built, that's how they're structured. So it's the same. Everything that you use will be used, everything that you learn will be used for your life person. It doesn't really matter what your age is. It doesn't really matter what your age is. I'm sure if you watch an issue of 18, but yeah, instead of somebody just sitting there being stuck, being put under some kind of a spell, words are spellings. Our words are spells, right? They're spelled, they pronounce the inflection in people's voices. So it's saying if somebody is like stuck in, let's say, fifth house, for instance, right? Around like romance or creativity or children or expression or hobbies or what makes you feel good. You stuck in your fifth house. You and somebody could be stuck in the fifth house on something that has disrupted your second house. Second house is all around personal resources, money habits, possessions, values, financial security, self-worth, or income, whether it's your income or self-worth or somebody else's income or self-worth, like how people make their money or whatever the case may be. You and somebody stuck. So it's just saying somebody will get you unstuck, meaning that a decision is being made here. A decision is being made about something. So everything that you learn will be used for your life's purpose. So source is closing out cycles. We were already in the middle of the year, and some people are still chained to 2024 in certain belief systems and certain, the source says some changes are coming. Some changes are coming, but it's time to release the negativity. It's time to release the negativity. Just like really being a good steward over your thoughts, really. Time to release the negativity, because you're going to bring something into fruition that you just did not want to. Something is going to materialize. You're an earth sign. Something is going to come to be that you really didn't want to come to be. So that's why I was saying like for instance in my Cancer reading, and I'm saying that because of your polarity. Something kept coming to my spirit about somebody having an employee. And it's not even by coincidence I'm bringing it up here, because this could apply to somebody. That somebody has an employee that they were like, that's like family to them. That is not unusual in workspaces. People are like family in workspaces. But it was coming to me like really strong that somebody is, because a manager has to finally take some kind of action beyond just putting somebody on a performance plan of like really saying, if I have to, tell you this again, I may have to just release you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And the person who the energy, so as family, could be possibly going to human resources on this person telling lies behind their back. Source is saying to you, sometimes you want to see things ahead of time. Your card is a devil card. So the devil is always trying to get in Capricorn's way, trying to stop you from your north node, trying to stop you from getting to your life purpose, right? Trying to stop you from getting to your career, your life goals, your achievements, your public image, the father aspect of things, masculine energy, social status, and fame. So the enemy is always trying to get in between that, doesn't want you to get to your north node. And somebody needs to really start thinking like that, like, okay, who am I chained to that's stopping me from getting to where I need to get to? Who is going out of their way to try to start to chain you to this right here, this two energies that's trying to end you, two energies trying to end you, or possibly someone else for whatever reason. So source is saying everything that you learn will be used for your life's purpose. You may be asking, what is the purpose? What is the reason? What is the purpose? Right? Judgment. They're obsessed. They are obsessed. And you need to wake up. This is the Judgment card is about clarity, awakening, reflection, your purpose, reckoning. And so these energies will find out what your demons are. If your demons are sex, they're going to make sure you got the right person that looks exactly what your type is in your face to keep you in a state of confusion, because the devil is the author of confusion. If it's food, they're going to make sure you are supplied with every kind of your favorite food all around you, because, hey, guess what? They're obsessed with you and someone else. It's a Judgment card. Obsessed with ending you and somebody of you. So if you're attached to somebody, they're obsessed with ending somebody else, or they're obsessed with ending you and anything that's attached to you. That's what Source is saying. Somebody has to admit that they have some kind of temptation that's been kind of hard for them to deal with, whatever that is. Whatever it is, the temptation is. Because judgment is coming down on these energies. It's already started. Judgment is coming down on these two energies, two types of energies. So when the moon is in Aquarius, just like this question, when the moon is in Capricorn, y'all can go back to the reading and see when the waning crescent moon is in your sign. Go back and watch that reading if you want to go back and watch. But when the moon is in waning in Aquarius, the energy is perfect for releasing outdated beliefs, detaching from emotional baggage, and embracing visionary change. So Aquarius rules innovation, freedom, and higher thinking, while the waning phase encourages letting go and reflection, right? Looking at your cards here, in order to, the Judgment card is Pluto, which is currently retrograde right now. This is Pluto's outermost planet, right? There's some energies who are not acting like humanitarians at all. They're absolutely trying to affect your 10th and 11th house. 11th house is by keeping you chained to something, right? 11th house is about friendships, community goals, hopes, your wishes, your awareness, your humanitarianism, your technology, your future, by keeping you connected to 8th house. 8th house, which is almost like ending somebody, not ending you. When I say somebody, it leaves you almost like with this such a horrible taste in your mouth. It's like you don't even feel motivated to do certain things anymore, right? Because energies are trying to tie you to something in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Almost like an ultimatum is what I'm picking up here. Almost like if a person is saying, if you are connected to that energy, then your career is over. Your 10th house or your 11th house is over, right? But what somebody doesn't see, what's hidden in the Judgment card, is not only is an obsession, it's an obsession with ending you and someone. This is where somebody really is going to have to, as the moon is moving through these zodiac signs, and if your body is telling you something to move on from some energies, this is where somebody really needs to pay attention to your body for real. Knight of Wands here, and free yourself. Knight of Wands energy is a lusty and free-spirited person who is very passionate, someone who is very creative, someone who is action-oriented, someone who is adventurous and fearless. And this is what I'm saying. If your demon is lust, that's exactly what the enemy is going to put before you, that to keep you in a state of distraction. Somebody's basically saying, if you stay connected to certain energies, and they're not budging, it's two of them. If you stay connected to certain energies, your 10th and 11th house is going to be affected. I can just tell somebody that somebody is free, that somebody's mother, right? And some energies are trying to bring judgment down on someone's mother, but you're trying to see something from a higher frequency. And I can already tell you that someone is a free spirit. You are a free spirit. You and somebody are free spirited. But somebody is intentionally trying. There's a fire energy, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Somebody is attacking these energies, whoever these energies are attacking your first house, your personality, your temperament, your appearance, your self-image, your first impression, your self-awareness, your outlook on life. And it's dealing with two energies. So it basically is saying you and someone who is a Taurus, whether it's a Taurus, moon, sun, moon, because it's like it's two fives here, right? And Taurus is the fifth card. But Taurus, and I notice a Taurus because Taurus rules second house, right? So either you have Taurus somewhere in your birth chart that you need to find out where Taurus is in your birth chart, because that's what's being attacked, and heal that part of yourself, or either your sun or moon is Taurus. And so somebody is attacking someone's mother or a mother figure, right? Trying to bring judgment down on somebody by saying someone has a temper. Really, source is saying to you, but is and saying that somebody is a lusty spirit, saying that you and somebody else are a lusty spirit. But source is saying to you, it's almost like attacking someone's maternal instincts or attacking someone's gifts. So somebody has been railroaded here. This is the Chariot card here, by saying that they have a temper. So anybody that's been basically trying to get you to do things to see if a temper is going to come out of a person, so they can justify bringing some kind of judgment down on a person. Basically, like, for instance, telling you, go cuss that person out. Or even if it's in a passive way, like, go take that person to HR. That was the thing that I had in another person's reading. Take that person to HR and see how they're going to respond to it. Right? But they're using a person who's sexual in nature to do it to you, basically saying, using that energy, keep this energy distracted. We're trying to bring judgment down on somebody. You can be a man or woman, and it's not even by coincidence the Chariot card came out that I was talking about Cancer's reading. So somebody could have an employee that is trying to take you to HR with something about their energy. They've been lying on you. So source is saying what these energies are using, because Chariot card is Cancer, is water, and water is reflective. What the energies are trying to use are, if you have any kind of things where you're recording or video or whatever, so like a platform like this, they're trying to basically say that you're not maternal. You don't have a maternal bone in your body, basically like who you were raised by. Like, you don't have any maternal instincts. You don't have any the softness in you. This is your polarity sign here. Like, somebody needs to flush somebody else out because you are not compassionate. You don't have any feelings. You don't have, like, you just a robot walking around, just like a person who just can't think for themselves. In other words, somebody really should be offended, not in an angry way, but in an action oriented way, where something should be in you that said, I need to pray, I need to go to source, and I need to gain clarity, and I'm going to be obedient to whatever source tells me to do. Here we had the Four of Cups, because somebody feels like their back is against the wall. Like, somebody feels like, okay, poured out everything, and what else is left? Because there's an obsession with ending. In other words, somebody wants so bad to sacrifice you and somebody. I can't say it no clearer than that. Somebody wants to sacrifice you and somebody so bad by making it seem like you and somebody have a temper. What's hidden in the Judgment card is death. So somebody can justify ending your career or ending something. It's interesting. What is coming to me, it's almost saying like the person who has the power to do something is seeing you as a threat. So that would be like somebody saying, because this is a projection, somebody is projecting their apathy or their feelings of being unfulfilled or disconnectedness onto you. And somebody can't see that that is a form of spell work. Somebody cannot see it's a form of spell work. So in other words, they're saying that somebody's mother, or that you are a very lustful spirit, or that, or it could be a man. You and somebody, a very lustful spirit. So they're trying to bring out a darkness in you, or trying to bring out a darkness in someone else. But really, what it is that somebody is really trying to control you, and that's what this is. So another example that I gave in my Cancer reading, this is interesting because the Cancer's card came out here, and that's your polarity sign. The other thing that I've mentioned in my Cancer reading was specifically for a man, right? If y'all go back and watch Cancer's reading, find out what Cancer is in your birth chart, because Cancer rules fourth house. Fourth house is about family. It's about home life. It's about sense of security. It's about ancestry, self-care, tradition, inner emotions. It's about maternal figures. It's also about pets, right? It's almost like somebody is basically saying you have no emotion whatsoever. You cannot get in tune with your emotion, as if whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. They're going to bring they're going to bring a dark emotion out of you. Somebody is dealing with an energy, it's an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This is what we're talking about here. That is almost like you're too nice. You're too nice of a person. So we got to bring out a temper in you and bring out a temper in someone else to justify bringing judgment down on somebody, because we're at a crossroad. We got to do something. So it's just like something should be a no-brainer for somebody at this point. Because Knight of Wands means that there's a lusty spirit involved, someone who is free spirit. And there's nothing wrong with somebody being free spirit. There's no judgment. You ain't judging nobody about whoever. But the point is how something is being done. Somebody sees somebody who's a high priestess as competition. I mean, like, come on. So they're trying to bring a temper out of somebody who's a high priestess who can see right through it. By somebody's creating a bunch of confusion. Two energies are creating a bunch of confusion because they see somebody as competent. They trying to justify. This is a sacrifice. This is a sacrifice. There is no fence that you can ride on this. Whoever you are, and I'm talking to your 10th house, there is no fence that you can ride with this. There is no confusion in this, because either, I'm telling y'all, and I'm looking at the cards here, we're talking about all four corners of things, right? These energies are attacking people's sexual, mental, your physical and mental health in every area of the thing. Saying that somebody's back is against the wall, they're depressed. It could be you. You could feel like your back is against the wall. You feel like you poured out everything you poured out. Some energies are almost making you, whoever you are, is almost kind of making somebody feel like they don't even want to do whatever it is you set out to do in the beginning. So if you're a high priestess, I mean, help somebody with something. If you have a platform, Capricorn, whatever your platform is, right? You want to align yourself with people who are going to keep your vibrations high. That's just bare minimum. So if you have friends and stuff around, or people who have been in your life for a long time, friends or life, family or whatever, and all they are doing is just competing, comparing, drama, trying to bring out the worst in somebody. So it's just saying that is your answer right there. Something should not be. You shouldn't have to wait until everything that you built is burned to the ground before you get the message. I mean, for real. Where your back is against the wall, with somebody now, okay, now I got to create something. I thought I was going to have more time. Now I got to create. I got to create something now. Some energies already did something behind your back in spiritual or physical court. They already did something behind your back. So it's like, why somebody is still in this? I got to physically see something to believe it. Why? Why are you still got to physically see something to believe it? When all you hearing is you've been hearing a bunch of lies about somebody. Oh, they don't support my brand. They don't support my business. And then bam, you see something on video where somebody's actually supporting your brand or supporting your business, or pouring into, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, pouring into your brand or your business. They're showing some kind of compassion towards somebody. Somebody is still listening to a bunch of lies. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm trying to help y'all keep your vibrations high. It's time to do some mirror work. It's time for somebody to do some mirror work. It's some energies. It's almost, when I look at your cards here, it's almost like people, whoever somebody is around, does not want you to be happy. It's destiny swapping is very, it's a lot deeper than just you seeing a friend after you're just in good mood and good spirits, and all of a sudden they project their bad day onto you. It's much deeper than that's part of it, but it's a little deeper than that. It's people who, they see you happy, they want to tell you that you don't know who you are because, maybe you dressed a little different. Maybe you wanted to lose weight. Maybe you wanted to wear your hair differently. Maybe anything to bring your happiness level to a zero, because that's how they feel. Source is saying to you, listen, something at this point, no matter, you got to find out what your demons are. Somebody's demons are sex. I can't say it no clearer than that. The devil card is about obsession. It's about lust. Somebody's demons are sex. So you're having an awakening, some kind of tower moment, but somebody's demons are sex. And that's the devil card. Do you feel like your back is against the wall? A decision has already been made. That's why somebody's having a tower moment, because a decision has already been made. Somebody is under a spell. Here we have King of Wands. King of Wands, decision has already been made. Somebody already told you that they would have your back in something. They didn't have your back. They consistently sit back and wait for you to do something first. And they just sit there and just wait. On the King of Wands here, somebody is realizing that you're realizing that you're a bold leader, that you're powerful, that you're courageous, that you have charm. You see a big picture, that you've overcome a lot of challenges. Somebody is saying that they are the King of Wands, and that's what somebody can't. That's the part that somebody is still grappling with. It's like somebody don't see that they are the. It's like Source is the one. That's why this is a good tower. Source is saying to you, that is what Source is like, trying to tear down. Source is like basically trying to rebuild you, to let you know all you need to do is add structure to something as a prayer warrior. That's it. Add structure to your day ahead of time. Y'all have heard put on the full armor of God. That's what somebody needs to do before they get on, however you start your day. I can't tell somebody how to do their day in the religious way. Before you leave that house, pray, Source, expose every single energy connected to me. And then give me the strength. If they are trying to block me from my 10th, 11th, and 12th house and all the other houses coming back around, remember your card is the world card, your first, second, third, all the way up to your 10th house. I need to be able to break that chain. Give me the strength to break the chain. Help me to not be stubborn. Or I got to physically see something to believe it. That's the Source trying to help somebody learn how to do. Oh, I didn't know they supported my business. Oh, I didn't know that they spoke so highly of me. Why don't you know? Like, why don't you know? Here's the Knight of Cups here. Save yourself. Somebody's going to be grateful that something is behind them for real, because people moving on. People are ascending higher. They're closing out cycles. They're operating in love. Like, that's what Source is saying. Everything that you learn will be used for your life's purpose. You got to find out what your demons are. Somebody has got to find out. And what this is somebody's, somebody found out that you really, really enjoy, a certain physical, you're attracted to a certain physical, whatever it is, and that could be, that should be your demon, that you're kind of free with, whatever. But somebody's gonna have to recognize that, okay, you know how to put something under submission. It's almost like, okay, I recognize that eating sweets could be a demon. That's not mine, but if it was, let me just for an example. If I say, okay, eating sweets could be a temptation. That's when I say demon, a temptation for you, to a point where it causes you to lose focus, right? That's when you say, okay, it's now become a problem. I need strength in that area, right? Not somebody else's strength, not a human strength. I need Source's strength. I need the Creator's strength.